From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Monday, August 31st, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
It's very unfortunate that we're in this predicament.
WRTV investigates the fight over a prime piece of real estate. The city agency hoping not to lose the property. And the offer one man is calling questionable.
Universities continue to deal with the impacts of COVID-19. Ball State is the latest, now reporting more than 500 total cases in the last 2 weeks. What the university is doing to make sure that students are being safe on campus.
This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I literally almost went bankrupt. I was like $3,000 left to my name, to my name.
The pandemic has taken a toll on many businesses, including Reverie in downtown Greenwood. But now they are bouncing back. I talked to the owner about how his hard work and the community is helping him to rebound. Today is National Overdose Awareness Day. Hear from a local couple who lost their son to an overdose and what's being done to prevent more tragedy.
And here at 6 o'clock, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for kicking off your work week with us. Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County.
Lauren, good morning to you as well. Hope you had a great week. And I almost did not want to change the calendar. Sunday was so good, Alyssa
Yes.
Donovan, but we must move forward, and this week is looking pretty good, right? I mean, nothing to complain about.
Yeah, well, not today. I mean, things get a little dicey in the middle of the week, but we do have a nice weekend, so we really just have to get through that middle part. That's when we have some changes, some showers and storms. Today, though, it's going to be a nice one, so Raphael was right about today. This is the day to get outside. Temperatures starting in the 60s this morning, 50s for areas to the north, 56 right now in Tipton, 59 in Peru, and 57 in Muncie, and that cooler air is coming from high pressure just to the north of us, but then we have some warmer air to the south as this system is moving across southeastern portions of Indiana, really moving towards Cincinnati right now, but we can't rule out maybe a stray shower for some extreme southern counties this morning. Most of us, though, are starting today dry, and we're going to continue to see some dry conditions this afternoon. So pleasant start today, a little bit of cloud coverage. We'll see some peaks of sunshine throughout the day, and then we are going to see those highs into the low 80s. Looking ahead tomorrow, we do have the potential of some showers and storms in the forecast, likely in the afternoon and evening. This is a good time to get your Storm Shield app because we do have the potential of some severe weather in there as well. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. Here is a live look at everything going on in the downtown area. I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. Things are picking up just a little bit. Traffic's traveling up to speed here. Right now, no crashes to report around the metro area. That's great news as you're heading out on the roads. Raphael?
Lauren, we begin with a developing story. WRTV investigates learning overnight that the Indianapolis Housing Agency, which provides housing for the most vulnerable in the city of Indianapolis, will now have until December to pay off a multi-million-dollar loan. That loan was due tomorrow, and IHA did not have the money to pay it off. The Milliken on Mass Ave sits in the heart of the trendy shopping and dining district near downtown Indianapolis. The project, started in 2014, is made up of two sections. Milliken 1 is for low-income housing. Milliken 2, on the same property, charges regular rent and houses several businesses on the street level. Both are managed by the Indianapolis Housing Agency. IHA will lose Milliken 2 if it does not pay an $8.5 million loan. John Hall runs IHA.
This particular action is trying to destabilize this project. I think it's very unfortunate that we're in this predicament. I think, especially during a pandemic, it's unreasonable for us to not have an extension on our loan.
The construction loan is owed to Merchants Bank of Indiana. IHA thought it had worked out a 6-month extension to pay back that loan. Instead, it got this letter demanding payment, but willing to consider an extension if and only if a change in leadership acceptable to merchants occurs within Insight Development.
Can you do that? Is that legal? Can you legally tell a public official that if you get out the way, we may give you an extension on a loan? Is that Is that legal?
It doesn't seem to align with the Indiana code of intimidating and coercing a public servant.
Insight Development is the not-for-profit arm of IHA. Insight has been the target of WRTV Investigates for supporting programs not in line with the needs of people who need housing. Insight was run by Jennifer Green at the time of the loan. When the top job at IHA was available, the mayor decided to hire John Hall instead. Hall also took over leadership of Insight to make some changes.
You're not buckling under the pressure because you could have easily have said, okay, I'll quit, I want the money. You're not doing that.
Absolutely not. As a leader of the agency, this is just adversity that is not insurmountable. It's something that I will overcome.
So that loan deadline is now December, as we heard overnight. Now, before airing the story, we provided the lawyer for Merchants Bank the contents of John Hall's comments. WRTV received a no comment from the bank. So here are more details now developing this morning. On Saturday, IHA received word of potential loans to pay off merchants. Those loans will be reviewed today. The city of Indianapolis has also offered $1.5 million to help out IHA. We'll keep on top of this developing story throughout this Monday. Lauren?
Raphael, thank you. Here at 6:07, some new numbers from Ball State this morning show that more than 500 cases of COVID-19 are on the campus. That's 128 more cases since reported Friday. When the university's president, Jeffrey Mearns, says if things don't change, he may temporarily suspend all on-campus courses and switch to remote learning for the rest of the semester. We spoke with one student who says most people on campus are taking the pandemic seriously, but for everyone out there doing the right thing, there are those who are not.
I would say it's like a 75-25 split. I'd say for the most part, most of the students are taking this pretty seriously. They're going out masked, and I don't see anyone taking it off. They're using the hand sanitizers that are throughout the campus. I actually had a friend of mine who said he was just driving through campus, and just on his drive, in his 3-minute drive, he counted 27 people without a mask on walking around campus.
President Mearns says that the increase in cases is coming from, in his own words, poor personal choices from some students, primarily off campus. He also said the university is taking disciplinary action against several students in 3 fraternities for failing to comply with the safety guidelines and putting others at risk.
So Lauren, this morning, turning now to the latest on the impact of COVID-19 on our state. Here are the numbers. 6 new deaths were reported by state health officials on Sunday. Since March, more than 3,000 Hoosiers have died from the virus. Health officials also report 880 new COVID-19 cases. That brings the total number of positive cases to more than 93,000.
It is 6:08. Starting today, IPS will have even more student support network sites open to help with that remote learning. IPS started the school year with 100% remote learning for all district students. The hope is kids will be able to return to in-person learning by October 2nd. The support sites offer a safe and structured place for IPS students to attend when families need a supervised environment for their children during remote learning. Starting today, the YMCA will open a student support site at Carl Wild School 79 that's on West 34th Street. The organization at your school will open support centers at Robert Lee Frost School 106 on Roxbury Road and Broad Ripple High School along Broad Ripple Avenue. IPS parents and guardians will need to register their students in advance and arrange for transportation to and from the Student Support Network site that they attend.
Good morning to Carmel, Kokomo, and Martinsville on this Monday. And today we're shedding light on an issue that's impacting thousands of families across our state. In fact, the heart of downtown Indianapolis right now is lit in purple. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson explains why this day matters. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So like you said, and as you can see behind me, the circle is lit up purple this morning and will be basically until the sun rises. And as you can see on the IPL building, it says OD awareness, all of this for Overdose Awareness Day. It's a day to acknowledge the grief felt by families and friends whose loved ones have died from a drug overdose. Overdose Awareness Day also spreads the message that the tragedy is preventable. Last night, those who lost their lives to an overdose were honored and remembered at the Indiana State Museum. Overdose Lifeline hosted the event, and organizers say they wanted to give grieving friends and family members a place to be together and not feel alone. We talked to a couple who lost their 25-year-old son in June of last year to substance use disorder, and a month later their sister-in-law died from the same thing. They say they hope to help prevent other families from experiencing this tragedy.
Erasing the stigma, it never meant as much as it has to us since we've experienced our loss, and now it's become more prevalent to ourselves, seeing how society has stigmatized mental illness and substance abuse now for many, many years, and we're slowly starting to see that be erased, but there's still a lot of work to do, right?
By families not discussing it, they're implying that there's something wrong, there's a flaw, a character flaw with their loved ones, when in fact, addiction and or mental illness, it's a disease.
Right.
It's a brain issue, and we were proud of our son.
Yeah.
He tried very hard, and we're proud of everybody that fights this battle. With this, there's often no care plan. With other diseases, there is a care plan.
A naloxone training session was held at yesterday's event, and organizers say it's especially important during the COVID-19 pandemic. So according to the state's records, naloxone has been used 60% more this year than it was last year by EMS. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. A restaurant in Greenwood is finding a way to rebound amid this pandemic. Coming up, I talked to the owner of Reverie about how he's navigating his greatest challenge yet. Alyssa.
And we are starting this week fairly nice today. Those temperatures in the 60s this morning will climb into the low 80s this afternoon. Some peaks of sunshine as well, but looking ahead, chances of rain and storms on the way midweek. I'll have those details coming up next.
Lauren and I welcome you back to Good Morning Indiana on this Monday. The Rebound Indiana is our commitment here at WRTV to showcase all the options available to you to help you bounce back from this pandemic.
And so, Raphael, today we want to share with everyone how a Greenwood restaurant took a really big hit during the shutdown, and now it's pivoting and adapting to this new normal.
Working in a kitchen, it's the safest job in the world because everybody has to eat. Well, March 18th or whatever that was not the case.
Mark Hendricks is the chef and owner of Reverie, a progressive American restaurant serving up as much local food as possible at the corner of Main and Madison in Greenwood. Steaks, seafood, burgers, an extensive bourbon list, and craft cocktails, all on an ever-changing menu. Because in this business, you have to adapt.
You always have to be thinking ahead of time. It's like a chess game.
But as the pandemic hit the Hoosier state, Mark faced his biggest challenge yet.
It's definitely a weird feeling knowing that you're not going to work anymore, that you've been doing this for 15, 20 years, and then all of a sudden you just don't go to work anymore. And you have to tell all your staff, I don't know. Like, we had no idea what to do.
The carry-out formula didn't fit, and Mark had to tell his employees to go on unemployment.
This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I literally almost went bankrupt. I was like $3,000 left to my name, to my name.
But he hustled and he got help from his bank, from government loans, from his community.
I applied for every loan, the PPP, all that, all that jazz, and I got them.
Prior to the pandemic, Mark was set to sign a construction loan in order to expand. A 6,000 square foot space with retail, an all-seasons patio, and a fireplace called Implement.
Picked out the chairs and the tables and all that good stuff, and then all of a sudden, the thing hit.
And so he pivoted, and Implement became Implitent.
And it turned out amazing. People were coming out, they're getting to be outside, and it feels good, you're fresh air.
With the project now on hold, Mark took what he had, a parking lot, and created outdoor dining to help compensate for capacity restrictions inside. Implitent will help to fund Implement in the future. But for now, it's a safe space for food, live music, and a new business venture.
I've been wanting to get a food truck over the past 4 years.
One of those government loans also funding the new dashboard food truck and catering, an off-premise service.
I was just very lucky to have that food truck on the back burner for so long in my life.
Dashboard Food Truck and Catering rolls up with the linens, tents, and Revery's most popular dishes. And today, it's supplying walk-up service for Implet Tent.
It's in the parking lot now because we're trying to learn how to use it. I've never worked on a food truck before, and it's kind of like the coolest thing I've ever. It's like my baby now. I've never experienced anything that cool before in my life, and well, a couple things, but that's on the top of the list.
The hardest months of his life, forcing him to refocus, helping a longtime dream come to fruition.
Would you have started the food truck and catering had COVID-19 not happened?
No, I wouldn't have. Never would have done catering or the food truck thing if this didn't happen.
So Mark tells me they're already pre-booking events for 2021, and he's hoping this truck could help to cater some safe, socially distant gatherings in your own backyard. For more information on this new business, you can find this story on our website, WRTV.com/rebound. Plus, there we also have information on the resources still available to help small businesses like Reverie come out of this pandemic on the other side. Here at 6:18, we want to get a check of our Monday forecast with our own Alyssa Donovan, and it's going to be a pretty nice Monday, Alyssa.
Yeah, we are in store for a good start to the week, but we do see some changes as we move through the middle of the week. Right now, 66 degrees in Indianapolis, partly cloudy skies, and it feels just like 66. That humidity, not too bad right now. We are going to see that build, though, as we head through the day today and into tomorrow. Winds right now are fairly light as well. So what's going on is we have this system to the south of us, and then we have high pressure to the north. So areas to the north a little cooler this morning as we haven't had a lot of cloud coverage to insulate you from that cooler, drier air coming down from Canada. And then we have some warmer and more moist air to the south of us, which is why areas to the south are starting with a little bit more cloud coverage. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower for areas to the south of Bloomington and Seymour this morning yet as well. But most of us are going to start the day fairly dry, and then we'll build in a little bit more cloud coverage throughout the mid-morning, and then some peaks of sunshine possible through the afternoon and early evening before we start to build in more cloud coverage overnight. That's ahead of a system that's going to impact us throughout our day tomorrow. We'll start with just some patchy fog tomorrow morning, and then we have the potential of some showers and storms into our Tuesday. The potential for marginal risk of severe storms will happen Tuesday afternoon and evening as well, and Indiana is under that threat. Most of Indiana, including central Indiana. The main threats with that at this time looks to be gusty winds and possibly some hail and lightning, and of course we'll keep an eye on that for you and let you know if there are any warnings or watches issued throughout the day tomorrow. Good time to get that Storm Shield app though, so you are ready in case we do see severe weather throughout our Tuesday. Today though, a very nice day. Pleasant start. A little bit of cloud coverage this morning. Some peaks of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Light winds as well. Highs today into the mid-80s. So getting closer to where we should be with those daytime highs. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, staying fairly warm on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to help fuel those thunderstorms as well. Those storms expected to move in late in the afternoon on Tuesday and overnight. And we are under that, again, that marginal risk of some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening. Wednesday, some lingering showers and storms possible, and then the potential of a few storms Thursday as well. Better chance we'll just see some heavy rain on Thursday, but can't rule out a couple thunderstorms in there as well. Behind that cold front that's going to pass, some cooler and drier weather is in store for our weekend. So we're back into the 70s on Friday and Saturday, and we're also going to see some dry and less humid weather for next weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out there this Monday morning. Here's another live look from our tower camera in the downtown area, pointing towards the north split, and you can see everything here is moving along just fine. Just keep in mind as you're leaving the downtown area, heading southbound on I-65, and you get to that Keystone Bridge project, we do have some extra lane restrictions in place throughout the day today, so just keep that in mind this morning. Other than that, everything's traveling up to speed.
So Lauren, popular furniture store IKEA facing major complaints from customers across the country. The reason behind their ongoing delivery delays, so you don't waste your money. On this Monday morning, no complaints as we head outside and take a look at the marvelous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Always a great sight here in central Indiana. A good morning then to Speedway, Shelbyville, and Southport, all great places to call home, even at this hour of the day. It's beautiful out there. I know you can't see stuff, but look at that skyline. It's gorgeous. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. It is 6:25 in Raphael. It is time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So let's get right to it because Lady Gaga needs no delays. Lady Gaga, as you know, is known for her fashion statements, and the singer did not disappoint at the 2020 MTV Music Awards. This time, she used the pandemic as her inspiration. During her multiple appearances on the show, Gaga displayed her impressive collection of PPE. She wore different masks between speeches and also during her performances. Now, Gaga also took home a lot of awards, including, Lauren, the first ever. It's called the Tricon Award for her work as a musician, actress, and philanthropist. And Lauren, we're going to give you the GMI Tricon Award for being an amazing mom, journalist, and a volunteer. So you as well. In my mind, in my heart, you are also a Tricon.
Oh, well, Raphael, thank you so much. I was going to say, you could use one of those face masks. That would be pretty cool to see on air.
I have them.
Okay.
I have them already. No,
Okay. You're good. Well, after being postponed by a pandemic, a Massachusetts couple was finally able to tie the knot in front of their family and friends. But watch what happened there. And the groom made a joke about 2020 and his vows. Lightning strike right behind them. He took it in stride, and once the storm passed, they were given a lovely rainbow as a backdrop for their special day. Picture perfect.
And a good morning to Scott and Johnny. These guys, Lauren, are today's hometown heroes. You may bump into them in downtown Indianapolis. They work really, really hard to keep the downtown area clean. They also did an amazing job following the protest with the help of many volunteers. Scott and Johnny, we appreciate all the work you do. You are hometown heroes.
Yes.
Lauren?
All right. Well, for millions of people, Raphael, IKEA is the place to go for home furnishings, the kitchenware, and so much more. Many customers at IKEA said that they've seen major delivery delays during this pandemic. Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into those complaints so you don't waste your money.
Homeowners and apartment renters everywhere love IKEA for its affordable Scandinavian furniture that's so easy to pick up and take home. But that hasn't been the case this year. Cindy Roker decided to redo her old bathroom during this pandemic summer, so she turned to her favorite furniture seller, IKEA.
So back in June, I ordered a new vanity from IKEA.
It was a Hemnes vanity and sink, so she bought her tile and started the project, but it all screeched to a halt on delivery day.
The morning of July 11th, saying that due to mechanical issues, the delivery would not take place.
With its local store still closed, she called but got nowhere.
Due to so many people trying to contact us, we cannot accept your call at this time.
Now, more than a month later, Cindy has no idea when it's coming.
Not even provide customer service or support that you can speak to somebody.
IKEA's Hemnes line of furniture is one of the most popular furniture lines in the world. This is a Hemnes dresser. Unfortunately, with their stores closed for 4 months this year, their warehouses and delivery teams could not keep up with the demand. IKEA tells us in a statement, due to the impact of COVID-19, we are experiencing some supply delays. We appreciate customers' patience while we work with our suppliers to restock their favorite IKEA products. But Reddit forums are filled with similar complaints from many customers wondering why such a well-run retailer stumbled during the pandemic.
So I'm at my wit's end, and I'm starting to panic a little bit because I need a bathroom vanity.
With IKEA stores finally reopening now, the company hopes those delays will soon ease. So don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Metro Police are investigating multiple shootings from over the weekend, including one homicide. Police tell us a man died at this scene after a shooting last night near West 30th Street and North Capitol Avenue. The victim's identity has not yet been released.
On the east side, detectives trying to figure out what led to a shooting early Sunday morning. Officers responded to East Washington Street near North Kitley Avenue around 5 in the morning. Police say one person was shot here at this location. At last check, police say the victim is in serious condition. No other details have been released.
Well, the family of Dorian Morell are demanding answers from prosecutors. The 18-year-old was shot and killed in downtown Indianapolis May 31st during violence that took place after the peaceful protests. Morell's family held a weekend demonstration after suspect Tyler Newby was released on bond. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office told WRTV it is a challenging case, but they say they're committed to seeking justice for Morell.
The 2 Howard County health facilities are no longer open, and more than 120 jobs are impacted. Sunday was the final day of operations for Replay Physical Therapy Clinic and Community Howard Specialty Hospital. WRTV Investigates found that the layoffs and closures are happening even though Community Health Network got more than $200 million in federal stimulus money. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Monday, and right now it is a marvelous Monday, but Lauren, those of us that live here in Indiana who are Hoosiers know that give it a minute and things will change.
Yes, and I think you're referring to the humidity that we're used to during the summer months. Alyssa, we know that's going to be creeping up today as the day goes on.
That's right. We're going to see that humidity creeping up today. I know yesterday it was low humidity. It was so comfortable outside, but that is not the norm here, so don't get used to it because those changes are back. They're on the way today and into tomorrow. We also have some storms on the way in our 7-day forecast. Right now, though, feels okay when you step outside. Temperatures are in the 60s this morning, 50s for areas to the north, and that's just because we do have some cooler and drier air creeping in from Canada this morning for northern counties. To the south of us, we do have a system moving across the area that's mostly bringing some cloud coverage for our southern counties. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower yet this morning, but most of us are starting the day dry, and we're going to stay dry throughout our Monday. So a pleasant start today, a little bit of cloud coverage, temperatures in the 60s. By the noon hour, we'll be into the mid 70s. Our highs today in the low 80s, a little bit more humid today. Not extremely uncomfortable outside, but you'll notice it compared to yesterday. And then it's going to be more humid tomorrow. That's going to help fuel the potential of some thunderstorms. All of those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thanks. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out there on the roads right now. Here's a live look at I-465. This is a view near State Road 67, Kentucky Avenue on the southwest side, where traffic on the interstate is traveling up to speed. No major issues to slow you down here. But of course, we'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout the morning and let you know if there are any issues. So police out in Tippecanoe County continue to investigate a weekend drowning. This happened Sunday afternoon at Wildcat Creek Park. Authorities say an 11-year-old was swimming with her brother when she went under the water. The family there searched for about an hour before a bystander called 911. The girl's identity has not been released.
Now let's take you to Monroe County. An investigation now underway in Bloomington after 2 minority organizations at IU say they were racially targeted in Zoom calls. Now this happened during virtual student involvement fair meetings held by the IU NAACP and the group known as Curls and Coils. Janae Coleman is the secretary of the NAACP chapter there at IU and said that someone posted racial slurs during those Zoom calls. Students say people also interrupted the meeting and mocked the Black Lives Matter movement.
We did have some students that did want to learn about NAACP, but they felt uncomfortable as well, so they started leaving the Zoom call.
IU did release a statement calling the incidents racist and unacceptable. Indiana University Police and the University Information Technology Service are also investigating this incident.
Well, COVID-19 numbers in Indiana continue to be high. There's new numbers released on Sunday. The state health department says 6 more Hoosiers have died from the virus. The total number of COVID-19 deaths is over 3,000. Also on Sunday, the health department reporting 880 new coronavirus cases. Since the pandemic began back in March, more than 93,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19.
The Federal Bureau of Prisons says it is seeing a concerning uptick in coronavirus cases there. The Bureau of Prisons reports nearly 100 coronavirus cases at the federal complex in Terre Haute. 47 of those are at the minimum security facility. Another 47 are reported at the maximum security facility. Last week, there were only 12 reported cases at the Terre Haute complex. An Indiana woman is filing a lawsuit after her children had severe side effects from a recalled hand sanitizer. It names 40 brands in North America, which distributes Bloomin' hand sanitizer. The FDA said it contains toxic menthol, which can cause headaches, nausea, blurred vision, blindness, and seizures. The company voluntarily recalled the sanitizer back in July. The lawsuit is seeking class action status. The hand sanitizer company has not commented on the lawsuit.
Well, there's a concern, Raphael, that the pandemic has caused more people to turn to substance abuse to deal with the stress and anxiety of the moment.
And so the city lit up in purple right now to bring awareness to this critical issue of drug overdoses. It's an issue that WRTV's Kelsey Anderson is shedding light on this morning. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. And shedding light, that's what they're doing now by turning the circle purple. And you can see here on this IPL building, it does say OD awareness, all of this for Overdose Awareness Day. It's a day to acknowledge the grief felt by families and friends whose loved ones have died from a drug overdose. Overdose Awareness Day also spreads the message that the tragedy is preventable. Last night, Overdose Lifeline hosted an event to honor those who lost their lives to substance use disorder. Organizers say they wanted to give grieving friends and family members a place to be together and not feel alone. We talked to a couple who lost 2 family members to an overdose, and they say the changes need to come from legislation.
The idea that somebody wants to get help, that's great in theory. There is a lack of insight for those oftentimes that have substance use disorder, often have a co-occurring mental illness. If they have a schizophrenia or a bipolar disease, 40 to 50% of those lack insight to their condition. Add an addiction to it, and you have a potentially probable terminal illness. Yeah. So the fact that they have to decide to get treatment, that's basically letting them die, and that's unacceptable. We have to provide more services, more inpatient, more long-term inpatient. And we have to make it easier for families to help.
A naloxone training session was held at yesterday's event, and organizers say it's especially important during the COVID-19 pandemic. So according to the state, compared to last year, there has been a 60% increase in EMS workers having to use naloxone on patients. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Hardly anyone in Hollywood knew that this Hollywood icon was fighting colon cancer before he died. Up next, how doctors say his type of cancer is showing up more in younger men and the warning signs you need to be watching out for. It is 6:37. We'll be right back.
Many tributes for actor Chadwick Boseman. ABC replayed his amazing movie Black Panther last night here on WRTV and across the country. And he had an Indiana connection, you may recall, inspiring Victor Oladipo at the NBA Slam Dunk contest, Lauren, back in 2018.
Yeah, and Raphael, virtually no one knew before Boseman's untimely death that he had been battling colon cancer for years. ABC's Alex Brachet tells us this is just the latest example of how that cancer is increasingly showing up in young black men.
Tributes pouring in from friends and fans shocked at the death of Chadwick Boseman. Twitter announcing this final post from his account is now the most liked tweet ever, calling it a tribute fit for a king.
Mr. Spell's attorney, Thurgood Marshall.
Boseman underwent treatment and surgeries for colon cancer even while filming some of his most famous roles.
In my culture, death is not the end. It's more of a stepping off point.
The actor's private 4-year battle now sparking conversations about a disease that disproportionately affects black men. Blacks have the highest rates of colorectal cancer of any racial ethnic group in the U.S., and black men roughly 10% higher than white Americans.
There may be some biological factors, but certainly access to screening and access to care is one issue that's preventable.
Dr. Timothy Cannon is an oncologist that knows these statistics well.
I think there's just so much information that we need to get out there to really help avoid the situation we saw with Chadwick Boseman.
Dr. Cannon says that starts with paying attention to symptoms, including change in bowel habits, bleeding, abdominal pain, and unintended weight loss. These signs are important because younger patients with colorectal cancer tend to be diagnosed at a more advanced stage.
I felt like I didn't want this to, I was in denial.
Timothy Mitchell was 43 when he was diagnosed in 2006. He had a checkup earlier in the year, but says by summer he just had been feeling tired, slow. He went back to the hospital.
They did a colonoscopy, and they saw a large mass.
Timothy was stage 3, the same stage as Bozeman when he was diagnosed. He underwent 12 rounds of chemo, and today he and his wife dedicate their efforts to breaking down health stigmas for Black men. That starts with a simple conversation.
Early detection is key. Not paying attention to your body and not taking care of your body, it could really end sooner than you wanted it to, because tomorrow's not promised.
The American Cancer Society recommends that men start getting screened for colon cancer at age 45, but Bozeman was just 43. Dr. Cannon saying that while the overall numbers for the disease are going down, the instances of it appearing in men under the age of 50 are actually going up, which is just another reason to be vigilant about the signs. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
The hogs hitting the streets to help save the dogs. Coming up, we'll show you why some bikers took a long ride through central Indiana. But first, let's check in on your local forecast with our very own Alyssa Donovan. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Ruff. We are going to see a very nice day today. Temperatures climbing into the low 80s. Humidity building back into the forecast today. A lot more humid tomorrow, though. Potential of storms in the forecast as well. I'll break down the details coming up next. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It is 6:45 here on our Monday, and this is a look at traffic to the north, I-465 over the White River. You can see traffic here is moving along up to speed eastbound and westbound this morning. No crashes on the north side to slow down your commute. Raphael?
So a legendary Chicago pizzeria getting ready to open its first location right here in Indiana, and hopefully Todd and Lauren will take me up on free food. I'll pay. But they first need to hire Hoosiers to make and deliver its deep dish pizzas and much more. Lou Malnati's Pizzeria is set to open in Carmel in October on Spring Mill Road. They're looking to hire 50 people to serve as kitchen, phone staff, and delivery drivers. They're also hosting 2 hiring events this week. They'll be held tomorrow and Thursday from noon to 6 each day at 2902 West 86th Street, Suite 110, next to Pier 1. If you can't make it, you could also apply online. We have all the information in this story at hiringhoosiers.com. Lou Malnati's also planning a second Indiana location in Broad Ripple sometime in 2021. Lauren?
Now I'm hungry for pizza, Raphael. Thank you. Well, more than 100 motorcyclists heading the streets for a ride to benefit an organization that's dedicated to saving pit bulls. The ride started at the Indianapolis Southside Harley-Davidson location. All the money raised here will go directly to Lucci's House Bully Rescue. When we caught up with the drivers in New Whiteland area, there was an accident. The organizers say that a woman on her motorcycle blocking traffic for the group was hit by a car. She is expected to be okay, and despite this somber ending to the ride, those we spoke with say it's important to do what they can to raise money.
Well, you got to keep doing it. Because you love the dogs and you hate people that mistreat them and they need help.
Well, all of the money raised again will be used for vet bills for the dogs Lucci's House saves.
And so, Lauren, one day you could look at the night sky, right? And you think maybe you're looking at a UFO, but really you're seeing a satellite. A new report from the National Science Foundation says that large constellations of bright satellites could change the appearance of the night sky that's viewed from Earth. An estimated 107,000 low Earth orbit satellites are scheduled to be launched into space in the next decade. SpaceX suggested their satellites would barely be visible in the sky, but astronomers and stargazers say the metal devices reflect the sun's light and can appear as bright as star constellations. Some people may even believe that they are UFOs. Sunday definitely was out of this world when it came to the forecast, but on this Monday, Alyssa Donovan, we're back on the ground, back to earth, back to the good old Indiana humidity. Here we go. One more day.
Yes, back to reality with that forecast today. It feels a lot more like Indiana as you step outside. This morning is not too bad, but by the afternoon, it's definitely going to feel like Indiana with that forecast, bringing that humidity back. That humidity will come up a little bit this afternoon, more humid tomorrow, and that's going to help fuel some thunderstorms that are possible by tomorrow afternoon and evening. Potential of some severe storms in there as well on Tuesday, and we'll continue to see lingering storms possible Wednesday and into Thursday. Behind that, though, some nicer weather just in time for our weekend. We're going to see some cool, dry, and pleasant conditions Friday and Saturday of this week. So just have to get through the middle part. Right now, just starting to see that sunrise. 66 right now in Indianapolis. We do have cloudy skies over the area. Lafayette at 62, Bloomington at 68. Temperatures to the north of us a little cooler with those temperatures in the 50s, and that's because we have high pressure to the north that's dropped down from Canada, bringing us that cooler, drier air and keeping things fairly clear overnight up there. But to the south of us, you can see we have this system just moving to the southeast that's impacting us this morning, mostly bringing cloud coverage across southern counties. Can't rule out maybe a stray shower yet this morning, but most of us are going to start dry today. And we're just going to start with a little bit of cloud coverage. As we head into the noon hour, we'll see some peaks of sunshine and then that possibility of a few peaks of sunshine throughout the afternoon. By the evening, though, more cloud coverage expected. That's going to stick with us overnight. What that's going to do is help trap some moisture close to the surface as well by tomorrow morning. So we could see some patchy fog to start our Tuesday, but the real impact of that system will happen Tuesday afternoon and evening. That's when we're going to see the potential of some convection, which means thunderstorms and the possibility of some severe thunderstorms, strong to severe rather. Marginal risk across Indiana, most of central Indiana, of course, including Indianapolis. The main threats by tomorrow afternoon and evening with that system are going to be so that you are prepared if we do have any warnings or watches in the forecast. Looking at this afternoon, 80s for our highs today, partly cloudy skies by the afternoon, and then we will drop off with those temperatures as we head towards the weekend. So here's the first few days of our forecast. 82 today, 85 tomorrow. Those storms move in late, 83 on Wednesday, and then we are going to see continuing chances of showers and storms Wednesday and Thursday before things drop below normal just in time for the weekend. It's going to be a pleasant weekend with lower humidity, temperatures in the 70s.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads right now. This is south of the downtown area, I-65 near Keystone Avenue, the site of that ongoing bridge work in the southbound lanes. And then we have traffic shifted over to the northbound side restricted a little bit as well as you travel through that area. And keep in mind, if you are heading south of the downtown area as you leave the South Split area and you're heading towards Keystone, we have some additional left lane closures in effect today. So just take it easy as you head through that area. This is an active construction zone. Another busy construction zone is out here on I-70 near State Road 267, so use caution as you head through that spot, and keep in mind the on-ramp from State Road 267 eastbound I-70 is closed for that road work. Raphael?
Another controversy from the nation's capital, this sending shockwaves through the White House. A former friend and advisor to the First Lady is telling all about what she claims Melania Trump has said privately about the rest of her family. Coming up on Good Morning America, right here on WRTV. That former friend is talking exclusively to ABC News.
And he's played all over the world, but another musician says she is ready to take him on one-on-one. Next, we'll find out whether he accepts the challenge from a YouTube star. We'll be right back when Good Morning Indiana continues. Welcome back. So, Raphael, this isn't the first time Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters has jammed with a fan virtually over the summer.
That's right.
But it's probably the first time he's decided to go one-on-one against a 10-year-old girl.
If you haven't seen her yet, she is simply incredible. Check this out. This is Nandi Bushnell. She lives in the UK and she posts videos to her YouTube of herself playing along to hit songs. Now, during her video of the Foo Fighters song Everlong, Bushnell, she challenged Mr. Grohl to a drum battle. Now Dave Grohl has responded.
This is my response to your challenge. So now the ball is in your court. This is a song called Dead End Friends. Hit it.
Mr. Grohl challenged Nandi to learn that song from all-star band he played in called them Crooked Vultures. Nandi Bushnell has accepted the challenge and says, I'm going to checkmate this one too. You know, after being married for 28 years, Lauren and Alyssa, I've learned never mess with a lady, a girl, a woman's determination or potential. She's strong.
Yeah.
Don't mess with girls.
That's a good lesson for everyone that's watching this morning, Ralph. Very important lesson right there.
Oh, she's so cute. That's a cool story. Something else that's pretty cool, the weather today, Alyssa.
Yeah, we're starting pretty cool this morning. We're going to warm up, though, this afternoon. 82 degrees for our high today. Mostly sunny throughout. We'll see a little bit more cloud coverage by the afternoon, and it is going to be a bit more humid today. That humidity really kicks in tomorrow. Storms move in late Tuesday. Possibility of some severe storms as well. Cooler by the weekend.
And check out the sun coming up here over the central Indiana. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America, that is. Have a great Monday.